Strength is love. Oh! About a week and a half out from the state championships. So coming in today, gonna video some of my strokes, kind of check things out, look under the hood, see how it's looking, and then work on some starts as well. Backstroke starts, etc. Just kind of see where things are at and tweak what I can before we get to the championships. Something I find very interesting about swimming is that you need almost video or somebody else watching you to tell you what you're doing, because what you think you're doing and what you feel in the water is oftentimes entirely apart from the reality of how you're actually moving. And so to get video footage, you can actually look back because the film doesn't lie, and you can get a fresh glimpse of what's actually going on with your stroke, so you can really make some great strides there. And I think that happens a lot in life, where we might feel like we're doing something a certain way. We've got an idea of how it's actually going, and we need outside input to actually get eyes on the situation and help us understand not just how we feel it's going, but how it's actually manifesting itself. All right, so here's a topic of tremendous importance that, of course, I think we've all heard this, but it bears mentioning again, and that is paying very, very close attention to who you surround yourself with and who you allow yourself to be surrounded by. That is very controllable, with the exception of your family, because obviously you don't get to pick your relatives, but everybody else is pretty much a choice. Who you spend time with, what you're doing. You know, if you've got a dream, a goal, an ambition, a mission that is really important to you, you know, I got to tell you, as you're setting out on that path, and if you really want it, you're not going to have time to spend as much time at the bar with your buddies or your girlfriends or whoever, just hanging out, socializing, relatively unproductively. You're not, even if it's generally productive socialization, you're going to have to, at a minimum, cut back on that. And let's face it, there's also some friends you, quite frankly, are going to need to completely disconnect from. And some of those, you know, toxic friendships, and they may be people you've been around for a long time, and like, well, how do you expect me to do that? I expect you to be an adult and make choices about what is more important, your future and the future of your family and your legacy, or your buddies that you don't have the courage to basically completely cut off from your life. And that's a tough one to swallow, and most people you don't need to do that with, right? Like, these are probably just a handful of people, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in your life, and you know it deep down, and you just need somebody like me to come along and bring up the topic, because a lot of times we will shelter ourselves from having that tough conversation with ourselves. But if it's true and you need to get rid of some friends, you're probably going to need to do that. Now, most people, that's not the case. You're just, again, not going to be able to spend as much time probably with them. But we got to come to the table and recognize and just be honest about, if you have huge ambitions, you need people to uplift you and to bring you up, and who are going to speak life into you, and who are going to encourage you, and who are moving forward and are passionate about their own dreams and desires and goals and things in their life. And if they don't have that, I would just encourage you to maybe, it's not always about, getting rid of friends. A lot of times it's bringing new friends into your life that can speak those things into you, that can breathe encouragement into your life, and they're a breath of fresh air, and when you're around them, you're energized as opposed to being depleted. And one thing that I've heard a lot of times from people that I'm coaching, clients, and it's like, but they've been friends for a really long time and they're really good people. Hey, listen, I get it, but let's look at it this way. Let's say you are training for an Ironman, right? You're going to do an Ironman, and that is quite a feat. That's a big thing, a lofty goal, and it's going to take a lot of dedication and work. And for you to say to me, I really, really, really want to compete and complete this Ironman, but you know what? Like, donuts they taste really good too. Like, donuts aren't bad. Like, donuts are people too. It's like, all right, you gotta pick one. You can't be slobbing out and just cramming donuts down your gullet constantly. I don't care if donuts are good. They are good. I'm not anti-donut, but it is not in alignment with the larger goal and the larger vision. And so please surround yourself with uplifters, with encouragers, with people who have similar visions and passions and are moving forward in their life. And the people that aren't, that are stagnant, I'm telling you, you will become like the people you most associate with. And so take really close stock of that. I know you guys know this, but just a little reminder, and I hope that can serve you this week. Take care, guys. Puppy time! Yay! This is my mother-in-law with her newest purchase. She's super cute. How many weeks is she?
8, they said.
She's tiny. She's cute as a butt.
They said she's only going to be like 3 to 6 pounds.
Oh my God.
You can't bite. No. No. No bite. No bite.
Love it.
Oh, kisses you can do. Kisses you can do.
Come here, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I could put you in my hand.
Yep.
I could put you in one hand.
Yep.
Oh, look at you. Oh,
Zoe.
look at you. Where'd you go?
Right behind you.
Oh, there she is. How cute is this? Puppies are hilarious.
Get it. Get it. You got it. That's the perfect thing for her. Get it.
She likes to be on the shoes. What's up, vlog peeps? Saturday morning, just got done with a swim workout, lifted some weights, headed here to grab some food real quick, snag that. get a couple things at the store, head home, and dive in and get some work done. I've got quite a bit to catch up on, as well as just projects I got to move forward. So anyway, and yesterday, it's funny, today is beautiful and sunny, as you can tell. Yesterday it was snowing, and that's the great thing about Colorado. If you do not like the weather, just wait a few minutes because it will change for you. What else? Yesterday, went in and worked with some training clients, help them through some things, and then in the afternoon, evening, had to make a fairly significant staffing change, and that was really tough because I really like this person, tremendously talented. You know, it was one of those things where we had sort of outgrown the fit, and I felt like for, you know, our team to evolve as well as this person to take the next step and have new opportunities, we just, you know, needed to make a change, and that's really tough, especially when you've got somebody that's really pretty great. But there's a time and a place where even if something is functional, it may not be optimal for one or both parties. And I think it's a disservice to continue trudging along that way if there's better opportunities out there for each of you. And so it obviously doesn't just apply in the office, it applies in our everyday lives where we have things that we're using to meet our needs that still function. They still meet our needs, but it's not maybe the same fit that it used to be. And if we're really honest with ourselves, we sort of need to step out and evolve and be willing to make the tough calls and the tough changes for, you know, and this is, again, if we're striving to take things to the next level. If we want to stay where we are, we can stay with what we know, and that's going to be comfortable. And most people are so uncomfortable with change that they are not willing to move forward. It's the whole saying, most people are more comfortable with old problems than new solutions. And if you and the toughest thing, though, is when it's not even necessarily a problem. Like I said, it still works for you, but you know, there's part of you that wants to go to the next level, but there's another part of you that doesn't want to change. And that dissonance, it's called cognitive dissonance, it's going to sabotage you. It's going to keep you right where you are. And so if you can really learn to just lean into that and be willing to make the change and find your why and something that's worth the fight, and making the tough calls and the tough changes to just go out there and kick butt and take names and do what you need to do to make the tough decisions, the tough calls that most people around you may not be willing to make, that's what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to allow you to lead an incredible life of power and significance and truth, being true to who you are. And so if you're in that place, if I can be a dose of encouragement for you, man, guys, you get one shot at this whole thing. And if you're willing to put yourself out there, like so many people aren't, they're acting like they get a second go around, and that's just not the case. And so take your one life and get everything you can out of it, but not just for you to build something significant so that you lead a legendary life, that when you're in your rocking chair as you're older, you don't just have glory day stories to tell your grandchildren while you're really regretting the chances you didn't take, but you're proud of the ones that you did, and you're telling them about a legendary life. That's what I'd encourage you guys to do. So love you, care about you, hope you're having an awesome day. Hey, just about to head out to a dinner, a fundraiser down in Denver, so this should be fun. It's really loud! It's really loud!
Number 351, number 409, number 363, number 538, number 521, number 463, number 656. With a $500 gift card towards a delicious dinner at Idlewild Spirit. Ladies in right here.